I have been exiled to the couch. My name is Werner Puchert, and this is Finding Frequency. Yes, self-isolation, exile. That's what I am kind of experiencing at the moment. Yeah, so I will be sleeping on the couch for the next couple of days. Not because Marta wants to kill me, and trust me, I think she wants to do that from time to time. But this cross-infection happening between me and Francie needs to stop. And my throat is killing me at the moment. He's doing surprisingly well at the moment. He is chipper, and I think I need to distance myself from the little man for a little bit to try and build up my immunity and feel a little bit better. Trying to work with this kind of buzzing noise in my ears for the last couple of days is not working out for me too well. But that being said, I'm doing great. It's not really that bad. It's just a bit uncomfortable. Even speaking into the microphone, I can feel like I'm running out of breath. But it's all good. And then the extraordinary for the day, got the opportunity to reconnect with two good friends of Marta and I, Olga and Chris. Olga is actually from Poland. Chris is from Romania, and they live in Berlin. They're both designers to an extent. Chris is a bit more designy in the sense of tangible, like creative design work. Olga, on the other hand, is a bit more of a researcher, artist, cultural person. They run a company called Cultural by Design or Culture by Design. I always mess it up. But two super interesting, well-rounded individuals chipping away at life in Berlin, doing very interesting projects. One of the projects they spoke to me about was running some kind of virtual jazz festival the last couple of months, and they kind of worked on that and activated that all the way from Berlin, and this thing happened in Hamburg. So, yeah. But the main kind of part of our conversation today was something that made me a little bit jealous and inspired me to think about, you know what Marta and myself will be doing in the next couple of years. And they actually went out, Chris and Olga, and they purchased a home just across the border in Poland. And a nice 1930s old German house. Now, if you know anything about the history, they redrew the borders of Poland and Germany after the Second World War. So I always get my left and right side, but the German side of Poland, I think it's in the west, that was actually formerly Germany. And then they shifted the borders a little bit because the Soviet Union back in the day took a fair chunk of territory, and they gave some back to Poland, and that was ex-German territory. So a lot of those villages were vacated by the Germans and then took over by Polish folks, and have ever since been part of Polish territory. That being said, the house that they purchased was an old German house built in the 1930s. Interesting little bridge that actually crosses a river over there. They transformed an old bridge and made it accessible via bicycles. So they've been showing me photos of this. The house is very solidly built. It looks like it's structurally sound. The roof is all intact. But inside, I've been told it's livable. They can actually go and stay there now. But when you look at it, needs a lot of work. And just knowing them, I think it's going to be an awesome project to see unfold. And hopefully Marta and I, and knowing my wife, that will definitely happen. We'll be going there to go and see what they're up to. Because secretly, I think Marta and I are kind of yearning to do something similar. Even though I'm not so much of a person, I don't see myself necessarily chipping away at old bricks. Perhaps, maybe a little bit, but I would also like to know that I have some funds or steady flow of income intact to undertake a project like this. But the idea of living in the countryside and doing work remotely has become a real reality. And I think even in this pandemic, the idea of being in the countryside makes tons more sense than being stuck, even here in the neighborhood, not able to move around and just enjoy nature and walk around without a mask stuck to your face. And I think that's what a lot of people are doing. So property rates are like jumping through the roof at the moment. But that also is being said is one thing that has inspired Marta and I, is that we'll probably start planning and undertaking and thinking about a road trip as spring hopefully nears. I understand that we still have 20 days of winter, so anything can happen. So let's see what happens. And And the extraordinary conversation today with Olga and Chris really got my head buzzing with ideas. But that being said, I have a very important meeting tomorrow. A bit nervous because I need to still figure out where to go with this and how to try and see if I can help this potential customer of mine. So that might also be opening the door to some new adventures for me. So cross your fingers. And that being said, I hope that you're having some cool things happening too. Even if things feel a bit slow or maybe a bit monotonous at times. Look after yourself and try and spot those things. And also, like I did, try and connect with some interesting people, because if you connect with the Olgas and Chris's of the world, you feel inspired afterwards. That being said, I also need to prep for a phone call to be re-inspired by an old friend of mine, and looking forward to that. So I need to leave you for a second, but trust me, I'll be back tomorrow if all goes well. Thanks for listening.